Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to...
Poland's election results explained. What it means for Europe. Let's see what it means. Oh,
No, that's quick.
he misspelled border. Like a hoarder.
This is not the first time either.
Is he reusing the same thing? Because I feel like I've called it before that he misspelled border. Maybe he's
Maybe
reusing.
that's the British way of writing it. I don't know.
Border?
I
Like
don't know.
that? That's
Because this is the second time he's done that.
spelled like a hoarder. Oh.
Poland is right in the middle of a geopolitical crossfire. This election matters a lot. Now all its eyes are on the presidential race. Two contenders in the spotlight and two powerful rivals behind the scenes. Will this end the political deadlock, or is this a shift back to the right? The Polish presidential elections are finally over. And yes, we actually have a winner. Now you're probably thinking, didn't Poland just have an election? And you'd be right. In Poland, presidential elections are held in two rounds. The first round took place 2 weeks ago, where 13 candidates faced off, all vying for the top spot. In the end, Rafał Trzaskowski, from the centrist Civic Platform and a close ally of Donald Tusk, secured 31.4% of the vote. Karol Nawrocki, an independent backed by the Conservative Law and Justice Party, in short PiS, came in second, with 29.5% of the vote. But in Poland, to win outright in the first round, a candidate has to win more than 50% of the national vote to clinch the presidency outright. And that almost never happens. So typically, the two top candidates move to a second round. And that's exactly what happened this time. Trzaskowski and Nawrocki advanced to the second round, which took place last night and determined Poland's president for the next 5 years. And the two leaders could not be more different. Karol Nawrocki's platform leans heavily nationalist, campaigning under the slogan Poland First, Poles First. He's known for his anti-migrant Eurosceptic rhetoric, framing Poland as a sovereign nation.
Ooh, this is not good. So basically what we kind of discussed last time would happen, because I remember talking about it. You know, I was saying that Nawrocki only lost by 2%, but all the others below him are also right wing. So I kind of alluded that, oh, the right wings would just fall to Nawrocki. Seems that's what happened. Oops.
That's what I said. I said that.
You said
like,
that?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like, okay. Whatever. We said that.
Okay.
That's not good.
That should resist deeper European integration. Here's how we put it.
Nie zgadzam się na to, aby Unia Europejska decydowała o naszym wymiarze sprawiedliwości, o naszej edukacji, aby ideologia Zielonego Ładu niszczyła polskie rolnictwa. My wchodziliśmy do innej Unii Europejskiej. My wchodziliśmy do Unii Europejskiej, która jest wspólnotą gospodarczą.
Nawrocki is also an outspoken admirer of Donald Trump. Much like Trump, he campaigns on opposing immigration and rejecting what he calls woke values, and prioritizing bilateral ties with the United States over Brussels. He's even met Trump at the White House and reportedly received his endorsement. He's also an amateur boxer, often showcasing his skills on stage. Trzaskowski, on the other hand, promotes a more liberal pro-European vision for Poland. He's
I feel like he's even reusing this from the last video. He did the same thing.
the mayor of Warsaw, and he's a vocal critic of the kind of populist and nationalist politics that Trump represents. Instead, he supports closer integration with EU leaders, especially with the newly energized Weimar Triangle, and is focused on pushing
what we
through
saw in other areas in Europe is that because of Donald Trump's win, people are moving away from having a right-wing party in office, but here we see in Poland it's completely opposite.
rule of law reforms to align with EU values and secure access to EU funds. On foreign policy, both candidates agree on the need to spend heavily on defense. As for Ukraine, Trzaskowski sees Ukraine's future inside the EU and potentially even NATO,
What
framing
does
support for Kyiv
Eurosceptic mean
as a
again?
Skeptic, like
skeptic.
of
Eurosceptic.
like EU, yeah.
Ah, okay.
central to European security. Nawrocki, on the other hand, while supporting Ukraine's fight against Russia, draws the line at full EU or NATO membership. On immigration, Trzaskowski supports aid for Ukrainian refugees, but backs tighter benefits and asylum limits at the Belarus border. Nawrocki takes a stricter line, prioritizing Poles and curbing refugee support. Now, there are lots of differences on a more local level too, but as we are a channel about the EU, we will not go into detail there. So, without further ado, What were the results? Well, it was very, very close. But in the end, the conservative Karol Nawrocki won the Polish presidency, just edging out Rafał Trzaskowski by a couple of percentage points. It's a major victory and likely a setback for Brussels.
You don't have to win
Relations
by
between the EU
51%?
No, well, and in the first, if it was the first round, you have to win by 50% plus one vote. But there's multiple candidates, so it's very unlikely to happen. Here, no, here is just whoever wins is like even one vote over 50% is enough.
EU and the Law and Justice camp have been strained for years, to say the very least, and there's little sign of that tension easing anytime soon. And Poland's president is more than just a ceremonial figure. You see, in Poland's semi-presidential system, there are two key roles: the president and the prime minister. The prime minister, currently Donald Tusk from the Civic Platform, is the head of government and holds significant executive power, overseeing the day-to-day operations of the country. The president, now Nawrocki, supported by PiS, plays a more symbolic role in day-to-day politics, but holds a few very important powers. He's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, appoints top
Poland
military
is part
officials.
of the EU.
Yeah.
So how come Nawrocki, he doesn't necessarily want Ukraine to be part of the EU?
I don't know. I don't really understand that. Because I feel like you would want another EU country to be like
An ally?
and well, an ally and also kind of a buffer from Russia.
Yeah.
So like, you don't want Russia, right? Because,
Because then for sure everyone's gonna come to fight
yeah, I
and
don't know.
protect the borders.
Yeah, I don't really understand why he doesn't want Ukraine and EU. I
Because
can't
he's
answer
also Eurosceptic. So I
Yes.
guess he doesn't believe in the European Union or their objectives and their goals.
I
Maybe
think
those
he
go hand in hand.
disagrees with like the current route that they're taking. Probably
Uh-huh.
he wants. Remember, we did a video where like some people they just want EU to be just more like economic and don't get involved into like national level. Like they don't want basically the EU court to be the high court over countries, like the Supreme Court here in the States. They just want the national courts to decide everything. So he's like in that sense, I think.
officials and, crucially, has the authority to veto legislation. While the Polish parliament can override this presidential veto, it requires a 3/5 majority, something Tusk simply doesn't have. For example, Tusk attempted to reverse the controversial judicial reforms introduced by the Law and Justice government. These reforms violated EU law, and Tusk wanted them gone. But then President Andrzej Duda blocked the repeal with a veto, leaving the government stuck. And with Nawrocki now in office, the gridlock is only likely to deepen. He enters with a fresh mandate, born from what was effectively a referendum on Tusk's government. Tusk now faces a lame duck period, likely to last until the
Oh.
2027 parliamentary elections, making any meaningful reform nearly impossible. This could really
That's
mark the
kind of
beginning of the end
interesting
of
situation for Poland because then we know nothing's gonna get done in this
Seems
time.
like it, yeah.
So when I see that nothing is being done, people are still being paid. So I wonder, I want to understand, the people, I guess they're taking this as a loss, but for the purpose of they don't like the president in power.
Well, they voted. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
they voted
that's what
for.
they
That's
wanted.
what they wanted.
his government. And as one senior peace lawmaker put it, from Tuesday, we will begin very energetic work to give the Polish people another gift, the end of Tusk's government. Now, this shift will have EU-wide consequences. Nawrocki supports PiS's vision of building alternative alliances with the EU, particularly with Slovakia and Hungary. He's also deeply skeptical of Europe's move towards strategic autonomy. For instance, he opposes efforts to build EU defense capabilities outside of NATO structures, and has been critical of reducing reliance on the US. He's a Trumpist at heart. Nawrocki sees Washington as Poland's only credible security partner. So yes, the revived Weimar Triangle and any momentum with Germany under Chancellor
what does
Merz
this mean?
may not last. Poland's internal gridlock will surely increasingly limit its role on the European stage. But what do you think? Are you happy with Poland's new direction? And are you optimistic about the Nawrocki presidency? Let me know in the comments. And
Interesting.
They see an ally with the United States?
Yeah, he's a Trumpist, so he wants the States. I mean, I can kind of get it why there is a like maybe a sentiment in Poland they don't want to rely on Germany too much, given history. Because with America there isn't that history. So kind of I can see it why there is like so many people maybe don't wanna. Because if you do like the EU centric defense and then okay Germany produces all the tanks, let's say, then you
If you
know.
don't have trust, you don't have nothing.
Yeah, but I don't think Germany is the same Germany used to be, but at the same time, I
Mm.
think back then nobody thought that way too, so it's kind of
Also, I do think they don't want to also contribute to the success to Germany's economy because we saw they're leading right now, and I
yeah.
guess the other countries want to have something to say and control who's
Yeah.
at the top.
Yeah, it's interesting. I
Because
don't
I don't
know.
remember where Poland placed when it comes to
Poland
the
was growing.
economy.
Poland was growing. Yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
economy was growing.
Mm-hmm.
It bumped up
Mm-hmm.
a couple places in the last couple of years for sure. Yeah,
Mm.
Poland is growing. They're doing good.
Can I see the comments, please?
Yeah, my family, they go to Poland a lot.
Mm.
They said Poland been developed a lot in the past decade. The roads are very good. They got EU money for
Mm.
to fix the roads and everything. They said the roads are amazing in Poland because they held the Euro Cup in Poland, I think. So for that, they got their
Mm.
money for the
Mm.
infrastructure. So Poland really developed since then.
Mm.
The election was not decided by support for Navrosky, but rather by opposition to Tusk. I found,
Well, yeah, if Dust is not doing his job to make people satisfied.
yeah. Find it so funny how outside Poland everyone talks about Trump in those elections, and in Poland almost no one talks about it. And when saying why Trzaskowski lost, Nawrocki won, Trump is never mentioned.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, because that's not their politics. Why the fuck would they care inside? Let's see these replies. Why did he win then? Trzaskowski is backed by the government, and government has only like 30%
I guess
approval
they
rate.
know
Who?
he's a Trumpist. I mean, what is that? I mean, if they know that about him.
I just saw a video on this channel above of a Polish crowd chanting Donald Trump. Did you miss that? They don't matter. Such a close election is always decided by the centrists, and none of the centrists who voted for Navrosky care about Trump. A lot of right wingers also don't care about Trump, and his role in the campaign is very small. I'm not sure where we're going with this Trump.
Okay. Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And as always, share as much kindness as possible.